Development is the process of one cell growing into a whole organism containing billions of cells. It happens in a sequence of events and is usually non-reversible. Developmental pathways are used to see how genes can activate or inhibit other genes in the development of an organism. In this developmental pathway, the Rachel gene inhibits the Ross gene. If the Ross gene is inhibited and not transcribed, he will say Rachel's name at his wedding, and he and Emily will end up getting divorced. However, if the Ross gene is transcribed, he will say Emily's name at his wedding, and they will stay married. The Phoebe gene will activate the Monica gene. Once the Monica gene is activated, she can inhibit Rachel from telling Ross that she loves him at his own wedding. This is a summary of the developmental pathway and the actions of each gene. If mutations occur in this developmental pathway, Ross will either say Rachel's name or Emily's name at his wedding, and there will be two different outcomes. For example, a first mutation is if Phoebe is removed. If Phoebe is removed, then the Monica gene will no longer be able to inhibit the Rachel gene, and the Rachel gene will inhibit the Ross gene. If this happens, Ross will say Rachel's name at his wedding, and he and Emily will end up getting divorced. If the Rachel gene is removed, the Ross gene will be free to be transcribed, and he will say Emily's name at his wedding, and they will stay married. If a double mutation occurs, like Phoebe is removed and Monica is removed, Rachel will no longer have an inhibition in front of her, and she will be free to inhibit the Ross gene from being transcribed. So Ross will say Rachel's name. Another double mutation that could occur is if the Monica gene and the Rachel gene are both removed. If this happens, then the Ross gene is free to be transcribed, and he will say Emily's name at his wedding. These single and double mutations, depending on which gene is removed, will have the same phenotypes. If Phoebe, the single mutation, and double mutation, Phoebe and Monica, are removed, then Ross will say Rachel's name, and he will end up getting divorced from Emily. Another phenotype that is the same is if Rachel and Monica and Rachel are removed. Then Ross will say Emily's name, and he will end up staying married to her.